Listen up, because after the recent update, there's a new best build in town. You don't want to be wasting time running around with the wrong build, so I've got exactly what you've been waiting for. This build works for both free-to-play and pay-to-win players, so don't worry about needing some weird exotic to make this build work. This is a fairly in-depth guide, so sit back and enjoy. But first off, congrats to Gloomy Wormy for this week's giveaway win. Hopefully you're no longer gloomy after the win. I try to do these giveaways every week, so if you didn't win, don't worry. Just comment on this video and my previous video on the recent Alchemy update to enter for a chance at winning either a $50 Google Play or Apple App Store gift card of your choosing, available worldwide. And be sure to be subscribed for updates. So as many of you know, the Sparrow figurine glitch was put into submission by the devs, and thus finally patched. We no longer can take advantage of the glitch by running any companions we want while using Sparrow figurine. We're now forced to do things by the book, and if you're wondering what the glitch looked like and how much of a difference the glitch really made in terms of damage, I have the comparison for you. I put each battle side by side. The left screen is the one with the Sparrow figurine glitch working prior to the Alchemy update, and the right battle being the current version of the game with the glitch being patched. We can see our bug companions no longer are using egg throw due to the glitch allowing any companion to use Sparrow figurine's effect, and as a result our damage has heavily decreased. The boss was left with 83.8 U HP while using the glitch, and 479 U HP in the current version. As the stage boss at Inferno 2 Stage 5-10 has 882 U total HP, this means our damage was halved, and most importantly, meaning this build is no longer the best. So now we have to ask ourselves, what build is currently the best? Well, pay close attention as we will now cover the best build. First off, when it comes to slimes, you want to choose the best slime, of course, but what is the best? If you have an SS slime, you should be using SS rank slimes when you have them, as they will essentially always surpass S rank slimes in terms of damage. Right now, Ignis and Bunny are the strongest slimes, but that doesn't mean anything if you don't have the proper toy to support them. In terms of which free-to-play slime is best, you'll have to subscribe and wait for the free-to-play slime tier list that's coming this week. When it comes to toys, you have to realize that they provide an insane amount of base attack the higher their level goes, and as you rank them up. The bonus slime skill damage also provides a good boost in damage, so be sure to use a slime that matches up with your best toy, ideally a toy with attack, critical hit damage, and companion damage in the early game, and critical hit damage, companion damage, and skill damage in the late game. Unfortunately, my current mythic toy was a bust, but our legendary toy here is looking very promising. If the mythic toy attribute unlock is companion damage for this toy, we just snagged ourselves a perfect toy for Ignis. As for gear, there are no tricks here. Just equip your best weapon and armor, which will be highlighted by a red dot in the top left hand corner of the equipment the game identifies as providing the biggest stat boost. For your relics, we start by using pottery, as this build will be using chickens. Ancient coins is another alternative, but I've found that pottery does edge out the magic coin skill cast in terms of damage. Now, regardless of the build you have equipped, you should always be using Ruby as your tier 2 relic choice. It is one of the best relics in the game, and Rage is a must use alongside it. Our tier 3 relic is a familiar face, Sparrow figurine. One of the relics I highly recommend promoting to level 200, as the effect essentially doubles in damage. This is due to the egg throw skill cast requirement dropping heavily, and as we know from the glitch before, Sparrow Figurine itself provides heavy damage, which is why we base our new build around the relic. Since the other two relics here are viable, both Regal Pillow and Hot Seat sound like promising effects, but if you look at the screen, I've tested the 3 and Chicken Cushion did edge out ahead in damage. As you can see, comparing the 3, Chicken Cushion, which is in the middle, did the most damage, leaving the boss at 273 UHP. When it comes to necklaces, I recommend the following. If you use Evil Spirit as one of your skills, use Pearl Necklace. If your HP is low and you lack survivability, put on Sacred Necklace for the 995% HP boost. The same principle applies to Ruby Necklace as does Pearl Necklace, but if you're like me and none of these conditions apply, I use Friendship Necklace for that smidge of extra damage the Goblin troops provide. For your mask, this is where things get spicy. If you watched my tier spending guide, you know that I recommended against Kitsune Mask, even though it was the best mask with the previous best build. Now, because it was obvious the glitch was going to get patched, I went ahead and upgraded my Birdie Mask instead, as it is an absolute beast. At level 160, it's providing 5,180% for equipping 4 birds, which is in the territory of Tome of Disorder. This mask is absolutely a must, as it is what gives the build an extra layer of damage. Lastly, for our book, as mentioned, Tome of Disorder is one of the best relics you can use, and you should be using it with this build or any other build. The attack boost is extremely substantial, as you saw with us unequipping and re-equipping the book. Now, skills aren't too complicated. You must use Rage and Reaper as your 2 staple skills. This is due to the treasure and relic synergies that they both have, which we cover. As for your other 4 skills, I just honestly used 3 mythic skills and 1 legendary spell, and not because they are special in any way. Aside from the synergy we get from S-rank rings, such as my ring aiding in increasing bird strikes damage, but on the topic of rings, make sure your ring focuses on companion damage and grade, so ideally go for a ring with companion damage that is S-rank. Now going back to skills, just use skills with the highest attack damage and the lowest cooldown and activation time. I'll highlight some good skills here: Detonative Slime, Evil Spirit, Terrify, Meteor Swarm, and Irradiating Comet if you have it. These are all great options. For your traits, always go for 4 orange SS attack traits and 1 purple or blue SS attack trait. Currently, I'm running a 40% gold trait while I accumulate more trait points for another rerolling session. Let's just say I didn't have a good time during my last rerolling. Moving on to the topic of companions, which is central for this build, we equip 4 birds and either a frog companion or your other strongest companion that's available. In most cases, you will be using a frog companion, but I want you to watch this. Using the Genie and Gold Spoon, on the stage boss, we get the boss to 274 UHP. But if we swap out the Genie for Ice Frog, which is our current best frog, and then we swap out our Gold Spoon with Frog Vase to get that extra attack boost, on the same stage boss, we actually end up dealing less damage, leaving the boss at 326 UHP, about a 50 UHP difference. So I would test out both Frog Vase with your best frog and then Gold Spoon with your best overall companion, just to see which combination will do the most damage alongside your 4 birds. Now, we're not done discussing birds. First off, don't comment asking if you need to use an exotic bird. You do not. It just happens to be one of my stronger birds. So again, you do not need to use an exotic bird for this build. The 2 birds you should be using, however, are Ebony and White, because these will likely be your stronger bird companions, and they synergize with Chicken Cushion on top of being birds for Birdie Mask's effect and Sparrow Figurine's effect as well. For your 2 other bird slots, ignoring my use of the exotic bird, it will likely be either a combination of the bluebird and crisp. I did, however, test whether or not Alpine will do better than Bluebird since we use Chicken Cushion, so you'd expect the attack speed boost to make it a better choice, but it did not do so. So stick with just using your strongest bird companions in general, so using whichever companion has the highest attack. In my case, Crisp and the Bluebird are similar, but Chicken Cushion helps allow Crisp to edge out ahead. Now lastly, for your treasures, we use Chick Doll since we do have 4 birds on our team. The additional skill damage does do more than what Plush Lycan provides for us. Next up, Sun Crown is the best tier 2 treasure choice. The 80% attack boost works without needing bats, so don't get it mistaken. Now because we use the Genie, I equip Gold Spoon, but like I mentioned before, if you use a Frog Companion, and it is your stronger companion for the last companion slot, use Frog Vase like I mentioned before during our damage tests. The reason why we use Reaper as one of our skills is because Ancient Bonsai provides such a heavy influence to damage, but if you're dying during stages, Flexible Bamboo is an option as it does help with survivability with the bonus HP. For stage bosses, do use Gold Bread because nothing in the game will do more damage than giving your slimes more time to do battle. But outside of the stage boss, just use Explosive Taco for the small but additional damage. And lastly, for your armor, you should be using Dwarf King armor. The attack boost is fantastic and provides a substantial influence to your overall damage. Well, that's it for the comprehensive best build guide. If that helped, please do leave a like and be sure to be subscribed for more Legend of Slime content. And don't forget to enter into the weekly giveaway by commenting on this video and on my alchemy update video. And if you have any questions at all, let me know in the comment box below and I'll try my best to answer them. Enjoy!